What's up guys, it's Drew Momeka and welcome to another video. In today's video, we're covering strength training and calisthenics. Beyond just building a foundation of bodyweight strength, calisthenics is going to build flexibility, mobility, and a foundation of strength you can use across all boards. It's effective with a low intimidation factor. You don't have to do a lot and the price is right. So today we're taking a look at push-ups, pull-ups, dips, and the L-sit, which are 4 exercises I'd say are pretty important in building that foundation. So we're starting off with a push-up, but I do want to point out that a lot of people put way too much focus on the placement of their elbows. Instead of worrying about whether or not your elbows are going in the right direction, just make sure that you're coming down in a position that's comfortable and that doesn't compromise your shoulders. And for me, that means keeping my hands just outside of shoulder width and taking my elbows back at a 45-degree angle to make it easier to progress into other calisthenics movements, because most things are around a 45-degree angle. Now the starting position isn't really as important, but if you are starting from the top, like a straight arm plank, it would make a lot of sense to keep a protracted scapula and then drop from there. But if you're starting from the bottom, it makes sense to keep everything relaxed and then just push up. Make sure to try to protract at the top of that. Now, another thing to keep in mind if you're one of those people that might struggle with either being in a high bridge or being in more of a slope is keeping your body in line by maintaining a tight core. So let's say you're starting from a slope position and you just take a deep breath out. Just tightening your stomach should lift your waist up just a little bit. Or you could just lift your waist up and try to feel that engagement in that straight line that your body ends up being in. Now, when you can't perform the push-up yet, no need to worry because there are other variations that can be just as effective. And an important thing to remember is with body weight, it's going to be different for everyone. So if someone can do 10 regular push-ups and you can only do 10 of the variation I'm about to show you, you can still be just as strong as they are for your specific body weight. So don't really compare yourself to others when it comes to body weight movements. For the first variation to assist you, you can just place your knees down and then drop for a knee-assisted rep. For the next variation, you can straighten your body back out, take a couple pillows to do half reps. And to get one step closer to the real thing, just take negative reps, which are a slow drop from the top, making it to the bottom. You can use your knees as assistance to get back up, or you can literally just get back up. When you're looking to progress from this regular push-up into other calisthenics movements, it actually gets pretty interesting because you have a few ways you can go about it. You could try movements that progress you into a one-arm push-up, or movements that progress you into a pike push-up, and even some planche variations that probably won't get you to the planche. I can't even do that, but still implement some of the same movements that incorporate the same muscle groups. So your one-arm push-up, both feet out, one arm just down, taking it down, coming right back up. Now, to work into getting this, you want to start with unilateral movements, and archer push-ups are a great way to go about this. I'd probably say about 1.5 feet past your shoulders. It's really going to be different for people depending on their wingspan, but I have a 7'1" wingspan, so I can actually go pretty wide. You're just taking this straight down to one side, bringing your elbow back at that 45-degree angle we talked about, and then just coming straight up. And same thing on the other side. Really, the key for this one is just to try to push through your palms instead of your fingers. If anything, you can lift your hands up and still do the same thing. And next up is more of an uneven push-up to get your body used to pushing from your hand closer to the center of your body and maintaining all of your body weight at the same time. So just holding on to this side, feet just as wide as a regular one-arm push-up, and I'm just coming down, putting all my weight on this one side, then trying to push up from there as well. This will definitely be a lot of assistance, but the less you push off of whatever is holding that uneven side, the more pressure you're putting on this side and the more strength you're building on the opposite side of your body. Now, progressing into a pike push-up is going to be a bit easier than the others because instead of actually having to go through movement, you can pretty much just get a lot better at the pike hold itself before trying any negative reps. So taking the hold from the top, you're making a V with your body, then just pushing off your toes to lean forwards a bit and maintain that pressure in your shoulder blades. And for the negative variation, we're just dropping from this position, getting to a comfortable point, and pushing straight up. Full rep. And for the planche variation, all we're really looking at is the pseudo push-up. So instead of having your hands up by your shoulder blades like a regular push-up, they'll be more down by your side and turn outwards a bit. So with your hands turned out and just outside of shoulder width, go into that straight arm plank with the protracted scapula, take a slight lean forwards and drop forwards. From this position, you want to push straight up with the protracted scapula and maintain that forward lean, Go into the same thing. For pull-ups, you actually have a few options depending on what you're trying to do. If you want something with a lot less back involved, then you're just gonna choose a chin-up grip, but that does not mean in any way that it's gonna make your biceps any bigger than a reverse grip pull-up will actually do. Just to go over full range of motion, I'm starting with everything completely relaxed and I haven't even protracted my scapula yet, but that is the first thing I do before actually going into my pull-up, where I get my chin above the bar. That's pretty much a marker for how high you need to be going. And then back into a protraction of your scapula with your chin above the bar. Now let's say you can't do a pull-up or a chin-up just yet. There's no need to worry. You can actually start from the top of this. For most people, that's gonna be a jump or standing on a stool or a bench. But start at the top and hold for a second so you can feel that engagement, and then just take it down as slow as you can. And aside from doing negative reps, which are just a slow drop to the bottom and then starting back at the top, however you need to get up there, you can also use a stationary hold, which you can jump up for, use the bench or whatever, and then just hold this at the top for as long as you can. And this will build more engagement and more stability throughout your pull-up. And using a resistance band is also a great option to simulate a full range of motion. If you're able to, just clamp it right on the bar, get your knee involved, and then just go from a drop position, pull this straight up, trying to get that eccentric as well, and then pulling up from the bottom, now that you have the resistance band to help you. To progress from pull-ups, the move most of us want to try is the muscle up. And to get ready for that, you actually want to try a few exercises and variations that will prepare you for that movement. Now here's the full rep band. Sorry, I'm not doing this on the pull-up station in my house. It's just not stable enough and my roof is not high enough and I don't get enough fuse to sacrifice a concussion. But the real problem most people have is that they try to pull straight up and then just go over that bar for a muscle up. And that's not happening. This bar is in your way. So the best thing that you can do is get used to pulling back and then over. And how you'll do that is by getting better at explosive reps. I'm essentially trying to explosively pull myself back. So if you're able to, if you're hanging, you're gonna go from a forward position to a backward position. When you're in this forward position, from there you wanna pull back as you're coming back. That's really the key. And of course, with a more stable bar, getting better at that exercise is a lot easier. So go outside. And then you have explosive reps, which can take you from a chin-up grip to a reverse grip or an outer grip to an inside grip. But really just pulling up with all your might is gonna be the next step in getting better at pull-ups. Unless you wanna get your hands on some weight that can make this exercise harder for you without having to rely on slow eccentric reps. Dips are a lot like push-ups, but a separate beast entirely. Instead of laying flat and pushing off the ground, this time you have a vertical torso and you're pushing off the ground. And if you're not able to come down and push straight up with that vertical torso, then the important thing to keep in mind is just getting better at holding your body weight in this position. And if you can get your hands on one, then using a resistance band will do a lot of help as well in holding your body weight for you. And dips are actually pretty interesting because if you want to make them more tricep dominant, then just keep your body as vertical as possible. But if you want to make them more chest dominant, then just lean forwards. Now, when you want to make this harder for yourself, then you can try to make it a little more unilateral by taking things from side to side. So essentially, I'm going to drop to this side, come back up, drop to the other side, come back up. And if your shoulders and elbows are feeling a bit more comfortable in this position, you can give the tiger bend a try, which essentially just means I'm dropping from here, coming back, and then right back into it. So let me show you a full rep. It's like that. But on more stable bars, it looks a lot cleaner. Now, if there's one core exercise I think we should all be able to do, I would say it's the L-sit. And that's mainly because if you can do one of those, I don't think you need to do anything else. Now, what the L-sit entails is me keeping my legs as straight as possible while pushing from locked arms. And what that looks like is this. So yeah. My legs are as straight as possible. My arms are just locked out. I'm trying to keep my butt off the ground. And you're just trying to hold that for as long as you can. Now, when you don't have the strength to hold your body weight off the ground just yet, what you can do to build up to it is start off with a knee tuck hold and a V hold, which will help simulate that core engagement you'll use in the actual L-sit. Now from there, you can take your hands, and the further back you place your hands while lifting up off the ground, the easier this becomes. If you want to simulate the move even more, bring your hands further up and then push from there. But that will keep your core engaged and get used to having that crunch position while holding your body in that L. Now with this exercise and the other ones I've shown here today, you'll find that using parallettes and wrist wraps can be beneficial if you find that your wrists aren't able to keep up with the workout. And don't think of it as these being wrapped around your wrists is going to be holding you back. It's actually building stability during the time that you're wearing them. And when you take them off and then go try the exercise later on, once you've recovered and gotten stronger, you'll find that they actually did a lot more good than harm. And if you're not able to get access to these parallettes, but you have a set of dumbbells, they can work the same way. It's this bar right here that's keeping your wrist protected from folding or bending in a way that's just not comfortable for you. As I mentioned, building strength with calisthenics is important for reasons outside of being bodyweight strong. With better mobility and flexibility, you're building a foundation of strength that relies on proper form and listening to your body. Both things that create long-term benefits you can use in any exercise scenario. And if you've been training calisthenics or you feel like there are some progressions I might have missed, then let me know in the comments, because there might be somebody that could really use your expertise. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. I post content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to help you start your fitness journey. Now let's keep working smarter.